Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel today. Sorry I ain't had many videos, it's been winter time here and now. Fishing's about to kick off. I'm going to go over my 2022 schedule with everybody and what I'm fishing. And also go over a pre-practice report for the Ozark BFL on Lake of the Ozarks. I don't know if we're going to be fishing or not this upcoming weekend, but we will see about that. There's some snow coming in. It's supposed to be 1 to 3 inches on Friday. Supposed to drop down to 13 degrees Friday night, be a high of 36 or 33, I think, on Friday. And then Saturday is going to be a high of 31 or 32, somewhere right in there. Maybe it might be up to 36. I don't remember exactly what it was. But the biggest thing is that 1 to 3 inches coming in Saturday night. If the boat ramps are going to be usable or not, then we'll be putting in. And I did have a good practice there. First, we'll go over that, and then we'll go over my schedule of everything I will be fishing. I got up there Saturday. I think I got there about 7 o'clock when I got in the water. I got out to my first spot about 7:30 or so. I did a little bit of graphing, didn't do too much. I wanted to go out there and fish and play around with the live scope. I got the new active target in. I got that back in November. I got that installed on my boat. So I went out, wanted to do a little bit more practicing with it, see exactly how to use it, see how to read the fish, see what fish was what, see what was shad, try to read the brush piles, etc., all that good stuff. So I got out there. It was pretty slow for about the first 2 hours or so. Then I caught one on a jerkbait. It's probably my biggest of the weekend. It was about 3.5, possibly right around 4 pounds. So that was a good start there. I did not see that one on live scope. And then I started looking at the live scope a little more. That was out in front of a deeper dock. Started looking out, scoping them a little more, and then I started seeing them. Started getting a lot more bites, but they were smaller fish. Trying to remember where my second keeper came from exactly. I think it was another jerkbait fish. I was throwing 3 different jerkbaits, just kind of depends. The clouds would come out, the sun would come out, the sun would come out, the sun would go away when the clouds would cover it up. I had 3 different jerkbaits I would jump back and forth to, just depending on the conditions and what was going on. Shade, no shade. Kind of jump back and forth between 3 different colors. It seemed to work all weekend. I kind of had a pattern going with it, and then the live scope also helped that. I'd throw it at them, see how they reacted to that bait. If they didn't react real well to it, I would throw the other one back in there and then catch them. Altogether, I got on a decent jerkbait bite, but there wasn't a whole lot that was suspended. There was, like I said, there was some of the little ones I did catch. I see them suspended. And then some of the other ones. Most of them I seen kind of were around brush piles. They were on the structure. I was fishing a little shallower. I did look out deeper, but I didn't really want to spend the time to find the brush piles because I didn't have a whole lot of time, so I didn't spend a whole lot of time graphing those deeper brush piles, so I stayed pretty shallow for the most part. Anything under 20 foot right in there. I did look out in a little bit of 25 foot, but most of the stuff I found was in probably 8 to 15 foot of water, so not real deep, which they weren't real deep this weekend, I did notice, for me anyway. They were eating a lot of crawfish. That was another big thing, but I did catch them on the jerkbait. And then I paired it up with a wiggle wart, or a rock crawler. Not a wiggle wart, but a rock crawler. I did pair it up with it. I had 5 keepers Saturday for about 15 pounds, so that was really good. In a BFL, that's going to get me right up there. I know in a team tournament, I was right there in check range, and every team tournament that went out, it took 18 on Saturday to win a tournament, and I had just 15, and that was just out playing around, so not playing around, but especially for me, for Lake of the Ozarks, I've really not a real good lake for me. I've kind of struggled there in the past, but kind of getting on something now, getting little things figured out, but it's got me worried too with all that rain coming in. I was fishing in a creek, and I'm kind of worried. It was real clear water. It's kind of going to dirty it up. I don't know what's going to happen with that. So hopefully that don't get too dirty. If it does, I'll have to have a backup plan. I don't really have a backup plan yet, but just kind of run around and see what happens. And then, like I said, I was on a shallower bite. Kind of found that a little later Saturday. That's how I filled my last 3 keepers. They were decent quality, but they wasn't the quality I was catching. Well, the jerkbait, I was catching some quality fish. But I was also catching a lot of littler fish, too, on it. So I had a lot of short fish on the jerkbait. That's when I finally switched over to the rock crawler. Went a little bit shallower up there. And a lot of guys were fishing out deeper, too. I think that kind of helped. I went up a little shallower, and as I was fishing up shallower, I was scoping out to see if any brush piles, and I'd see a brush pile out there with a jerkbait or a jig. I didn't ever get bit on the jig and the brush piles, but I did go with the jerkbait, and that's when I would get those bites out of those brush piles. So then Sunday came along. I kind of went into the same mindset. I thought the morning, as cold as it was, a little colder Sunday morning, so I thought they would be out a little deeper still, so I kind of played around a little deeper to start with. And then I went back shallow again, and to my surprise, it was up there up shallow again, so I caught them on the rock crawler, same color. And then the bill broke off after I caught the second fish of the day there. I did catch the first one on a jerkbait out on a point. And then the second one, I caught the second, and then another short right there on the rock crawler. I mean, it was only 15 inches, but it was fat, so they're feeding up. It was pretty good fish. Probably about 2.5, 2 3/4, and that was the second one I caught. And then the rock crawler broke on me, and I only had one of that color, so I can go pick some more of those up tomorrow. They do have them in stock, thank goodness. I won't give you that color yet. I'll give you a little update probably after Table Rock on that. We'll see what happens. Not many people seem to be throwing it. It was in stock when I bought it. There was a whole bunch of them, so hopefully that don't change. And it ain't nothing really spectacular. It's just a little brighter, I think, than what most people are throwing. So we'll see what happens with that. And then after it broke, I did a lot of scoping. I threw in 2 other crankbait colors. Never got bit on those, but I did find a good brush pile that had a lot of fish on it. I watched one come out on one of my jerkbaits and came out, swiped at it, and missed it. So I switched it up, and then I cast it. I didn't see that one eat it. On the next one, I switched up the jerkbait to one of the other colors. Like I said, I was throwing the 3 different colors, so I switched it up to my other color and threw it out there. And then I didn't get to see it, but I seen it go into the brush pile. Then I let it sit there, paused it for about 10 seconds or so, and then one just slammed into it. And that was probably my second biggest. Could have been the biggest. It was a pretty hefty fish, too. It was around 4 pounds, 3.5, 4. So I'm on a solid game plan. Only had 3 keepers on Sunday, but I did leave at 11:30. Really, I stopped fishing. It was about 11:30 when I quit, about 11:25. So I had a pretty good game plan figured out, and I had, about 9 pounds there on Sunday just on 3 fish. So it wasn't too bad. I probably had a limit around 13 pounds. Had I caught about the same I was catching. And the good news is it was all kind of in the same area within about 10 miles of each other. Like I said, as long as that don't muddy up, I should be on a good game plan. Even if the water temp drops, it got up to 46 if I remember right, but mostly stayed right around 42 to 44 degrees. As long as even if it drops off a little bit, I'm thinking they'll just pull back out a little bit, and I kind of know I'll just pull out a little deeper with them. We'll have to see. They might stay up shallow, I don't know, just kind of stay up shallow and hunker down. I got some game plans for that. Maybe did hear some rattle trap reports. People catch them on rattle trap, or I might even throw a shad wrap. So get them finnicker fish up deep, a little tighter wobble if they lock down to that cold water. If we fish Sunday or Saturday, they're talking about could be going out Sunday too. So we'll see what happens. Now I'm going to go over my schedule for the 2022 season. I am fishing the Ozark BFLs. There is one in March that is on Lake of the Ozarks. And then the second one is at Table Rock in April. And then the third one is at Table Rock in May. So I'm looking forward to those two. I usually do really good at Table Rock. I have had usually right around check range or in check range at Table Rock. And if I can get one good bite, I could be right up there in the top 5 and top 10. I did have one about 5 years ago. I missed one that would have put me in the top 5. But I didn't get it in. And most of you know at Table Rock, you got to get those fish in, because there's a lot of 2-pound fish in there, and if you get a 3 or 4 pounder, you got to get it in the boat. That's the big difference. And then in June is the next Ozark BFL. It is on Truman Lake, so I'm looking real forward to that one. Hopefully the water is flooded. I do a lot of flipping up at Truman, and I got some good areas up there. I feel really confident I can do really good there. And then the last one is at Lake of the Ozarks in September again. So it's going to be a lot of flipping docks, I'm guessing. I've tried a lot of other things there in the past and kind of struggled. Like I said, I've always struggled with Lake of the Ozarks. Just a lake I haven't really figured out, so hopefully that all turns around this year. I've got some things different I want to try in there and try other things out. So just part of living and learning. There are some lakes that people struggle on, and unfortunately that's one of mine. Then the next trail I'm fishing is the Columbus Bass Club. Has our local club here in Kansas. Some of you might have seen I don't know if anybody seen that or not, but I'm the president of it, kind of help run it, do everything with it, and then I fish it as well, and I actually qualified for the Bassmaster Team Championship through that last season, so that's going to be kind of neat. I'm waiting to see when that tournament is and where that's going to be, so I'm just kind of waiting to see when it's going to be going on and where it's going to be at, so I'm excited for that one. And there is 10 of those. There's one every month all the way up until November, so I'll report on each one of those every month as well. And then some of the other ones are going to be just Stockton Lake Team Trail stuff. There's some Reeves Brothers I'm fishing over there. And then just some other smaller clubs I'm jumping in that's opens. And then I'm fishing some USA Bassins over there. Another one is a couple Bass World Sports on Stockton Lake too, so I'll keep you guys all updated on what's going on with those, and hopefully you guys are following me and we'll learn some things. And I got some more tips coming. I did get some of that Saturday on the GoPro. Didn't get it charged up Saturday night to get the footage on Sunday. I need to get one hooked up in the boat so I can put it back on the charger as soon as I'm done. I'll get that hopefully done this season as well, so I can have that one of those going too, as I can just charge it and then hook up the new battery as we're going along there. So hopefully I think I got some live footage of some scoping some of them out, and how well you can see it on the scope. But I'll show you guys if I do have some of those. Like I said, Saturday, I think it died before we got on the crankbait bite there. But like I said, I'll get it going, try to get some live stuff going on. Pit tournaments will all be live. I'll be wearing that. They're like 4 hours, so I can film all that stuff going on with those. You can watch the footage. I'll drag it over. And I should have some live stuff too coming out every time I go pre-fishing or fishing at all the tournaments. I'll get some stuff for you. Try to do some good explanatory stuff. Maybe get out and actually do some tutorials on how to do other things. Maybe read the live scope and kind of some other videos. I plan on doing some videos too about what live scope's kind of doing and front-facing sonar's kind of doing to our fishing world. Don't really like the direction it's heading. I'll get into that all later. I could go on for hours about that, but hopefully you guys are following along. I just want to give you guys an update on the pre-term report and what my season holds, since it's been kind of quiet here for the past couple months. Anybody that's been watching me and kind of started to follow me there towards the end of the year, things kind of fell off with the fishing season dropping off. I got running hounds, so I've been out running them, and now the fishing season's taken off. I'm going to try to get back in full swing here, do some videos, try to get in 1 or 2 a week or so we'll see how that all goes. All right, thank you all.